It's not uncommon for YouTubers to take a break from the internet, but what happens if they never come back? Today's story centers on 47-year-old Kenny Veach, an avid hiker and YouTube surfer. As a proud resident of Las Vegas, he would often spend his free time going on day-long hikes and exploring uncharted valleys of Nevada's deserts. Kenny seemed like your ordinary outdoorsy middle-aged man, but little did anyone know things would take a dark turn. Starting with a simple YouTube comment no one thought much of at first. In late 2014, under his YouTube handle Snakebite McGee, Kenny left a comment on a video now titled Area 51 Technician's Son Discloses Secret Alternative Energy, an upload retelling stories of the mysterious military base associated with aliens. The comment read, "That ain't nothing. I am a long-distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me." This fascinating anecdote generated much discussion and interest, and many commenters requested Snakebite McGee to record himself repeating the hike in order to provide proof for the mysterious cave he alleged to discover. Kenny agreed to do so, and on October 18th posted a 22-minute video to his channel titled M Cave Hike, in which he documented his 10-hour trek near the Air Force Base. Unfortunately, despite his searching for hours, he was not able to rediscover the M Cave in the video, leading to many frustrated viewers demanding that he return for a third time. Kenny again obliged, promising to the masses that he would give it another shot. Despite how overwhelmingly encouraging the reaction was to this decision, one comment now distinguishes itself from the rest due to how hauntingly prophetic it was. "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. You won't get out." On November 10th, 2014, Kenny went on his final trip in search of the M Cave, but after that, his account went silent. Following a few more days with no sign of the novice explorer, Kenny was officially pronounced missing. Despite search efforts from local authorities, including the canvassing of the area with over 30 search and rescue team members, he was not found. All the internet could do was speculate, and speculate they did. Several theories have sprouted in the time since Kenny's disappearance, trying to make sense of the events. Some believe that the hiker simply died in an accident, either by getting lost or by injury, an entirely probable hypothesis given how dangerous cave exploring can be. In a video, Kenny revealed that he often did not pack many resources for when he hiked, giving credence to the theory that he could have just lost his way and succumbed to natural causes. But others theorized a more nefarious scenario. Many conspiracy theorists contend he was murdered by the government, due to the area's close proximity to several military bases, including Area 51. Those who believe this theory argue that the M Cave was a secret entrance, and that the vibrating Kenny felt when entering the cavern was a defense protocol installed by the government to keep regular people from exposing it. Still, all these theories have remained, well, theories. Observers of this mystery would not get any more answers until 2 years after that fateful hike, when Kenny's girlfriend, Sharon Pilgrim, commented on the M Cave hike video, and shined light on several aspects of his disappearance. "I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in the video. So many people are wondering what happened and guessing different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found, and I feel that he probably will not be found for many, many months, if ever. I want to share what I know and feel about what happened so that you might bring some closure and understanding in your own lives." His significant other went on to say that she did not believe Kenny's death was an accident, but rather that he had ended his own life. She revealed that the man battled depression for many years, and even spoke to her several times about his contemplations of ending it all. In one instance, he flat out told her that if he ever decided to go through with it, that no one would ever find him. 3 days after he vanished, Sharon called missing persons. They found his phone by the mineshaft in his video, which she speculated Kenny left behind so as not to be tracked from the GPS inside it. He also, perhaps more significantly, left his video camera at their house, all but confirming that his final hike was not for his subscribers, but for his own purposes. Sharon ends the comment on a somber but hopeful note. "I had many wonderful experiences with Kenny and will always remember them and have a place of love in my heart for him and the wonderful things we did together. Enjoy your adventures in life, and thank you for the kind, loving comments sent my way. Much love, Sharon." Since then, many have recorded their efforts to find the mysterious M Cave in the Nevada mountain range, but even with building public interest, these searches all came back fruitless. This was the case until June 6, 2021, when the YouTuber exploring abandoned mines and unusual places would encounter on camera what most now agreed to be the cave that Kenny was talking about over half a decade prior. In the video titled, "I Found the M Cave of Kenny Veach," the internet at long last had footage of what appeared to be the hotly discussed M Cave, which rather anticlimactically turned out to be quite shallow. Despite exploring the area fairly thoroughly, there was no sign of the lost YouTuber. In response to these findings, some speculate that the cave has a secret hatch of some kind, citing the scratch marks on the walls that appear to spell out the word hatch. Unfortunately, there is not much more to glean from this upload, and the trail to uncover the exact circumstance of Kenny's disappearance has remained cold ever since. And this is where our mystery ends. It's unknown if we'll ever know exactly what happened to Kenny Veach. Surprisingly, this wouldn't be the last time a YouTuber would find themselves involved in a missing persons case, with our next story bringing us under the water. We'll learn more about this after a brief word from our sponsor. Spring is in the air, and with that the leaves will grow back on the trees. But did you know you could also grow back your hair with a prescription from Keeps? The great thing is there are clinically proven treatments out there that will help with this problem. And with Keeps, a licensed doctor will review your information online and recommend the right treatment plan for you. Then the products will be shipped directly to your door every 3 months, and if there's ever a problem, your Keeps doctor is available 24/7 to answer questions. I really do respect this company for coming out here and informing men that there is something they can do about their hair loss. Just remember that prevention is key, and the faster you get on these FDA-approved medications, the more hair you can save. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/GFM. or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/GFM. While our first story focused on a relatively recent missing persons case, this next one revolves around one that remained unsolved for over 2 decades. This tale begins well before the creation of YouTube on the night of April 3rd, 2000 in the small rural town of Sparta, Tennessee, when 18-year-old Aaron Foster and 17-year-old Jeremy Bechtel left to party together in a sporty black Pontiac. After a day of hearing nothing from the two, their respective families naturally got concerned and alerted authorities. Once they were officially regarded as missing, most people in the town believed that they had simply run off together. It made sense, the two were childhood friends, and many of their classmates believed that they were romantically linked at the time of their disappearance. However, this theory lost steam as years passed and neither of their social security numbers had been detected anywhere in the country since. In addition, Jeremy's mother told police that neither teen picked up their last checks from work, which poked a hole into the idea of them being runaways from the outset. There were a few reported sightings in Florida of a girl that looked like Aaron, but none of these ever materialized into tangible leads. With every passing cycle of the seasons, it started looking more and more like the two teenagers were deceased. And this is where more speculation began to emerge. What if it was a murder? And if so, why would they be targeted? Could it have been a mugging gone south? Could they have stumbled upon something shady and paid the price? Or could it have been someone close to them? In terms of the most likely suspect that could be involved in their demise, many locals pointed fingers at Gareth Bradley, Aaron's envious ex-boyfriend, as a possible perpetrator for their disappearance. But even with all these theories, no actual indications of where they went ever presented themselves. It was like they vanished into thin air. For 21 agonizing years, not a single lead turned up in the case. The story became semi-popular amongst enthusiasts of unsolved mysteries, but no one took on the endeavor of actually helping find them. Nobody, that is, except for scuba diver and content creator Jeremy Sides, affectionately called Nug by fans, who runs the popular YouTube channel Exploring with Nug, where he records his underwater excursions for a supportive audience of nearly 300,000 subscribers. On these aquatic expeditions, he often discovers and retrieves lost items, ranging from ritualistic packages to 40-year-old credit cards. But his most viral uncovering took place in December of 2021 in rural Tennessee. You see, Nug was dead set on solving the disappearance of Aaron and Jeremy, and he had quite the theory. Because their friend's party was in a house between Sparta and a large river, Nug believed that the two teens lost control of their car and crashed into the water after leaving. This would, after all, explain why there had been zero trace of them in the decades since. So he got to work, settling on 3 areas to search. The first had a different immersed car that authorities already knew had entered the river, but nothing more. The second was void of any findings as well. By the time Nug began his scanning of the final location in the late evening, his dejection by his lack of progress was visible. But once his radar picked up what undeniably looked like a submerged vehicle, the magnitude of what he had potentially stumbled across clearly hit him like a bag of bricks. He returned the next morning with his diving gear, and after marking the spot with his buoy, dove in and began examining the buried automobile. Even underwater, the excitement in his voice is palpable once he wipes off the moss off the trunk and discovers the Pontiac logo. After confirming the license plate, the teary-eyed Nug emerged from the river and called the sheriff to inform him of his findings. Law enforcement's reaction was, naturally, shock, but quickly transformed into awe and gratitude. The car was pulled out of the water, and a case that remained unsolved for 2 decades finally had an answer. It wasn't an escape. It wasn't a murder. It was just 2 teens who suffered a car accident. With their tragic fate certain, the 2 kids could be given the funerals and burials that they deserved. Perhaps the most unnerving aspect of the story, however, is that the part of the river where they were discovered was only about 10 feet deep. Just a few meters below the surface, Aaron and Jeremy sat in their cars undetected for 21 years. Had Nug not decided to pursue this cold case, they could have sat there for decades more. In a televised interview after the story went viral, Aaron's father admitted to fishing in those waters for years, some instances right over where the car was found. Despite being a somber day, at the very least, the families of the teenagers finally received closure. So there you have 2 stories, one about a YouTuber that went missing and another about a YouTuber that found 2 missing persons. And with that, I think I'll end the video here. So until next time, thanks for watching.